Hello everyone, Mr.G here, and today we have a very special episode. As today, we're not talking about just one genus today, but we're talking about an entire group of animals. This is also our second look at an animal from the Paleozoic era, so today we're talking about those scary, scary water bugs, the one and only Eurypterids, aka sea scorpion. Eurypterid means wide wing, referring to those paddle things that most Eurypterids have on their shells. Despite the name sea scorpion, Eurypterids were not arachnids, although they were relatives of them. Their diets varied from either being ambush predators or filter feeders. They lived throughout the Paleozoic era, which was just before the time of the dinosaurs, and they lived all around the world. Eurypterids were first discovered in 1818, but when they were first discovered, they were thought to have been a fish. However, later on, they were reevaluated, and this time they came to the conclusion that they were a crustacean, and they thought they were the missing link between trilobites and other arthropods. However, eventually, scientists concluded that Eurypterids were their own group that were closely related to arachnids such as spiders and scorpions, but they were not arachnids themselves. Now let's talk a bit about their biology. Eurypterids came in all sorts of sizes, the smallest one being only 0.80 inches long, while the biggest one, Jaekelopterus, could have grown up to 8 feet long, which makes it the same size as most modern crocodiles. Eurypterids are capable of breathing both underwater and on land thanks to their special respiratory system consisting of both gills and lungs, much like modern-day crabs. Underwater, it is believed that most Eurypterids did not swim, but rather they walked. However, this was not a universal trait, and some Eurypterids were capable of swimming, but the larger ones may have just walked along the ground like modern-day lobsters do. In terms of diet, while it is agreed that Eurypterids are most likely carnivores, it is unknown exactly what they ate since no stomach contents have ever been found from one. It is believed that they used their claws to hunt for fish and other invertebrate, while it's believed that others scooped microorganisms out of the mud. Another thing about Eurypterids was that they were not exclusive to the ocean, as several Eurypterid fossils have been found in what was believed to have been freshwater rivers and even brackish water. So they were quite a varied species when it came to location. Currently, there are over 200 genuses in the Eurypterid group, making them very varied. Eurypterids lived all throughout the Paleozoic era, before unfortunately going extinct during the Permian mass extinction, which was an event that wiped out 90% of all life on Earth. With all that out of the way, let's talk about the card and see how well it's held up. I don't have a lot to say here, since as invertebrate, we pretty much know what they would have looked like in life, so there's not too many things about it that could have gotten wrong, and even to this day, this is still a pretty accurate portrayal. So I give this one a 10 out of 10 in terms of holding up. Now the only mystery is trying to figure out what species this one is. If I had to wager a guess, I'd say it's supposed to be a Pterygotus, because I've looked at pictures of the card and pictures of Pterygotus back to back, and I have to say that it's the one that most resembles this creature on the card. Now, one complaint I do have about the card that was inaccurate even at the time is that it calls Eurypterids a family, when in reality Eurypterids were an order of animals. But this card has aged pretty well, so yeah. Now that we've looked at the card, let's look at Eurypterid appearances in popular culture. In the British TV show Sea Monsters, the Eurypterid Megalograptus appears in an episode talking about Silurian sea monsters. A school of Megalograptus appear in one of the Land Before Time movies, being erroneously placed during the era of the dinosaurs. Megalograptus is an adoptable animal in the mobile game Jurassic Park Builder. Here it's just referred to as sea scorpion. In the TV show Walking with Monsters, the Eurypterid Pterygotus appears, ripping apart a scorpion. Pterygotus also appears in the Game Boy Advance game Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder as an adoptable animal. A fictional species of the Eurypterid Jaekelopterus appears in the video game Ark Survival Evolved, where they took the name sea scorpion literally and gave it a venomous stinger. Well, that's all for sea scorpions. I'll see you next time when I take my first foray into the Triassic and talk about our first proto-mammal. Bye!